welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a mood reading vlog, so I'm just going to film this over the course of a week. It is currently Thursday, so I will film this until next Thursday and we're going to see how much I read in a week and what I feel like picking up. Also, if you can hear any background noise, I'm really sorry. I've got the washing machine and the dryer going on and the laundry is like right behind my bookshelves, like the room behind my bookshelves. So I apologize for that, but this is like the only time that I had to sit down and film this intro because I want to get this reading vlog started. I'm actually currently in the middle of 2 books at the moment. The first one is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I'm about 300 pages into this. I've got this much left. I did start annotating it, but then I stopped because I couldn't be bothered. But I do want to get this finished, so I'll definitely be picking this up throughout the week. I'm also currently reading Light Lark by Alex Aster. This is a fantasy book and I would say I'm like just under halfway through this. I think, yeah, I'm about 200 pages in. I'm really enjoying this book as well, so I'll be picking this up throughout the week as well. Also, because this is a mood reading vlog, this is very convenient because I have a romance and a fantasy. So if I'm in the mood for romance, I'll pick up Wildfire. If I'm in the mood for fantasy, I'll pick up Light Lark. I don't know how many books I'll get to in this video. Hopefully I'll be able to read a third one, but I don't know what that will be yet. As I said, this is a mood reading vlog. So if I do have time to read another book in this video, we'll pick that out when the time comes. Currently, I'm in the mood for fantasy, so I think I'm going to sit down and read Light Lark for a little bit. Today is actually my day off work, so I have quite a lot of time to read, but I do have some other things to get done as well. So I am gonna sit down and read for a bit, do what I need to do, and I will update you later today. Later, and I actually haven't read much more of the book, but I thought I would check in with you guys because I realized that I didn't even tell you what the book was about or any of my thoughts on it so far, so I'm going to do that. So basically we have the island of Light Lark, and on this island there are 6 different kingdoms and 6 different rulers. Each of these rulers rules after like a different part of nature, so there's like the ruler of the sun, the moon, the stars, and our main character is the ruler of nature. Each of these 6 rulers and 6 kingdoms has had a curse placed upon them. So our main character, whose name is Isla, I don't know how to pronounce it, but her curse is basically that she has to kill anyone that she loves and they are forced to eat human hearts. Every 100 years there's like a centennial held, which is basically like these almost trials where in order to break the curse, one of the rulers has to die. This has been going on for hundreds of years now and they have not been able to break the curse, but this year Isla is determined to break the curses for herself and her people. So yeah, that is basically what the book is about. I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like even though there's trials involved, not a lot has happened. Like, it feels high stakes, but there's not a lot going on every second. It's very much a lot of world building and like getting to know the characters and like all the different realms and stuff like that. But I feel like Alex Aster's writing makes it really easy to read and get through, and I really like the way that she describes everything, like the way that she describes this world. I feel like I'm actually in it. Like, I can picture everything so clearly in my head, and there's so much to learn about this world, especially with like 6 different kingdoms. Each kingdom kind of has their own powers and their own law, so it's very interesting learning about all of that. And I feel like we've learned so much already, but there's still the potential for like so much more, and I'm so excited to read about that, especially in the coming books, because this is a series. I believe there's the 2nd book already out and the 3rd one is coming out at the end of this year. This is also a romantasy, so there's romance involved, and I believe it's a love triangle. I've heard people on TikTok and stuff saying that it's a love triangle, and you kind of can see the vibes of it being a love triangle as well, which I'm not the biggest fan of love triangles, but I don't mind them. I'm also kind of surprised at myself for which love interest I'm picking, because I feel like I usually go for the like dark-haired, morally grey character, but I'm going for the other one instead. And I feel like their love story is going to be more of like a slow burn and like a slow build up, and I love a slow burn, and it also feels more like a true enemies to lovers to me, whereas with the first love interest, things are kind of like moving a little bit quicker, and I don't mind that, but like I don't know, I love the build up of like the tension, and like I'm like halfway through this book and her and the first love interest, they still hate each other at this point, and I'm I'm kind of eating that up. So yeah, those are my updates and thoughts on the book. I'm going to continue reading and I will update you when I have more to say. Okay, so it has been quite a few days since I last updated you guys. Actually, it's been like a week. It is currently Wednesday. And I just finished Lightlark last night. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it would to get through it, but that is because I ended up being busier than I thought I was and I just didn't have a lot of time to read. But I binged the last 100 pages last night and oh my god, I am obsessed with this book. Guys, you need to all go read this right now. It was so good. So I think the last time I spoke to you guys, I told you that the book was a little bit slow and it was more focused on like the build up and all the world building and stuff like that. And it definitely picked up in the second half of the book. It got really good. The stakes became very high. There was insane plot twists. Oh my god, I did not see them coming. Like I was shocked. Although I did kind of see one of them coming. I kind of had like a little inkling from the start about one thing and I ended up being right, but I was still shocked. Like I had a feeling, but it wasn't like, oh, I know for sure this is gonna happen. So like I was still shocked when it happened. I was like, oh my god, I was right. That's kind of crazy. The romance picked up a lot in the second half as well. The romance was romancing, a very happy girl, and I cannot wait to read the second book. Now everything in me wants to read the second book as my next book in this video, but I kind of want to save that for a different video because I have another idea and I think that would like fit into that video better. So I am going to hold off, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll be okay. I'm planning for that video to be my next video, so hopefully I won't have to wait too long until I can read it. But that being said, I am going to jump back into Wildfire. I am very much still in the mood for this. Yeah, this is just great, especially after reading a fantasy and finishing a fantasy. This will be great as just like a little palette cleanser, something quick and easy to read. So I'm actually hoping that I can finish this tonight. I have, I think just over 100 pages left. Yeah, just over 100 pages left. So I'm hoping to smash this all out tonight, and then I think I'll include one more book for this video. I know it was meant to be like mood read with me for a week, but you know, it can be mood read with me for a week and a half. I'll just extend the vlog for a little bit longer, so it's fine. It's my channel, my rules. If you've never heard of Wildfire or don't know anything about it, this is the second book in the Maple Hills series, which is a bunch of interconnected standalone romance books. So this book follows Russ and Aurora, and we get little previews of Russ from the first book, Icebreaker. You guys have probably all heard of that book. It's very popular all over BookTok and stuff like that. Icebreaker is a ice hockey romance, and there is obviously a team of ice hockey players. One of them is the main character, or the male main character in Icebreaker, and then Russ, he's another hockey player on the team. And then he meets Aurora, and he meets her at a party, and this is why I started annotating the book, because during their like first interaction, I was like, oh my god, like the chemistry is insane, the tension, the banter, like I was obsessed with them. And then basically this book, majority of it takes place at a summer camp where they both volunteer to work for the summer. And at that summer camp, there is a rule that like none of the workers are allowed to, you know, be together or have any type of relationships, if you are picking up what I'm putting down. So we are following them as they are working at this camp and getting to see how their relationship develops, and it's really cute. I am liking it. I will say I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as the first book, Icebreaker. I did really like that because I really enjoyed the ice hockey setting. I don't know, something about an ice hockey romance will do it for me. I love ice hockey romances. I've only read like one or two, but you know, it's fine. I like the sports romances. Whereas like this one, at least where I'm up to, I don't know if the ice hockey will come into it at all, but I don't think so because it's like set in summer. Is ice hockey? That's a winter sport, right? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there isn't a lot of like the sports aspect of it, and like the setting of the summer camp, I don't mind it, but I'm also kind of bored. Like I just don't care for it. And there's little kids because like it's a summer camp, like they're working, the kids come stay at the summer camp. So I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm liking it, but I'm not like absolutely obsessed with it, you know what I mean? But that being said, I am excited to continue this, and I will let you know my thoughts if I have any more updates. Okay, so it is now Thursday afternoon, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick little update. I did say I was going to try and finish Wildfire last night, but I didn't. I still have about this much left. I'm about 300 pages in now, yeah, just over the 300 page mark, and I still am enjoying this book, like I'm liking it, but I'm kind of just at the point now where I'm like, okay, like come on, can we wrap this up? Like I'm getting a bit bored, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's kind of just dragging on now. This book is almost 400 pages, and I feel like with romance books, just for me personally, I feel like 350 pages max, you know what I mean? I don't know, this isn't even a long book, so I don't know why I'm complaining, but I don't know. I just kind of want to finish it and get it over and done with. So I feel like it's probably sitting at maybe about a 3 stars at the moment, maybe like 3.25, 3.5, but we'll see how we go. I remember feeling this same way when I was reading Icebreaker, and Icebreaker is even longer than Wildfire. I'm pretty sure Icebreaker is like closer to 500 pages. And I remember thinking the exact same thing when I was reading that. I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this, but like, can we wrap it up? Like it's dragging on. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just because I don't usually read romance a lot. Like I read more fantasy books where there's a lot more happening and it's a lot more high stakes and stuff. So sometimes when I read romances, I feel like they're dragging on because there's like not a lot happening compared to what happens in fantasy books. So maybe that's just a me issue, I don't know, but those are my thoughts so far. So I thought I would update you guys, and I am gonna finish this tonight, I know I will, and then I don't know, we'll pick another book out tomorrow. Okay, I know I'm in like the exact same outfit as yesterday, but it is the next day, and I finished I finished Wildfire this morning. All my thoughts do still stand from what I was saying yesterday. I still do think it's like the tiniest bit too long, but this book overall was really, really cute and wholesome. I really, really liked our characters, especially Aurora. I felt like personally I could relate to her a lot. What I really like about Hannah Grace's writing is that these books are not just like cute little romance books with a bit of spice. Like the characters, even in Icebreaker, all have their own like struggles and issues that they're going through, which could be very relatable to situations that real life people go through. So I really, really, really like that about her writing, and it's good to see like the characters kind of overcome that, and like them opening up to each other as well was really cute, and learning to trust each other and all that stuff. So I loved seeing the deep emotional connection between these characters. I just think that for my personal liking, the book was slightly too long. Also, I know this is kind of the point with her books, but there's, again, for my personal liking, there's just too many smut scenes. Like, I'm sorry, I don't need to read about the same characters having sex like 10 times. I will say the spice in this, there was a lot less than in Icebreaker. Like in Icebreaker, they were doing it like every second chapter. There's definitely significantly a lot less spice in this book, but it was still there. And I don't mind spice at all, but like I said, it just gets a little bit repetitive when it's like, you know, how many times can I read about the same characters doing it? So yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on this book. I think I gave it on Goodreads like a 3.5 stars. Overall, really enjoyed it. Just some little things that like made me enjoy it, not as much as I possibly could have. So I do want to try and fit one more book into this video, and I'm kind of in the mood for a thriller. I haven't read a thriller in a while, and I feel like thrillers are just really quick and short and easy to get through. So I might pick up a thriller later today. Don't know which one yet. I will update you guys when I've picked what book. I'll just see what I'm in the mood for when I go to read. I won't be able to read for a little bit because I have starting work in half an hour, and then after that I'm going to get my eyelashes done. So I'll update you guys a little bit later tonight when I've picked my next book. 3 pages into this book, and my immediate thoughts are that the start is very, very similar to The Housemaid, also by Freida McFadden. If you don't know, by the way, I'm reading The Inmate by Freida McFadden. But yeah, just like the way that it's both started out with like the characters like needing a job and taking like the only job that they can. So I'm like, okay, that's very interesting that it's like very similar considering that they're both like books by the same author. Okay, it is quite a few days later and so much has happened since I last updated you guys. I've been to 2 concerts. I went to see The Weeknd and I also saw Olivia Rodrigo. And I also ended up meeting Peach PRC, who, if you don't know, she's an Australian artist. She's one of my favourite artists. I love her so much. And she did a meet and greet and I met her. And things have been crazy. And I wasn't able to read for a few days because there was just so much going on. But I have finally gotten a little bit more into The Inmate and I have a little update for you guys. So I've been reading it on my Kindle. I don't have the physical copy just because with thrillers specifically, I don't care to own the physical copies. I don't know why, but I just always prefer to read them on my Kindle. And I am now about 40% of the way through this book. Basically, this book follows 2 timelines. So there's the present timeline in which our main character, Brooke, has started working at a prison. And basically she's closely connected to one of the inmates there. The inmate is her ex, Shane, who tried to kill her 10 years earlier. And then we also get the past timeline from 10 years ago. And basically we get to see the events that like led up to when he tried to kill her. Just as we're learning more about the situation and what happened, you kind of realize that maybe some things aren't as what they seemed to be. And yeah, it's really interesting so far. I am really enjoying it. However, I feel like it is really predictable. I feel like it's very obvious who did it, and I feel like the author is making it very obvious, but then also because she's making it so obvious, maybe that's not the case and there's going to be like some huge plot twist at the end. But I have heard people say that this book specifically is a little bit predictable, so I don't know. I hope it's not, because I feel like I've guessed that very, very early on. Like, it's very, very obvious if what I'm thinking is the case. However, I am still enjoying it. I'm flying through it really quickly now that I'm actually have some time to sit down and read and like actually take in what I'm reading. I think I've got about like 3 hours left or something, so I'll probably get this finished tonight and then I will update you guys next when I finish it. It is time for my final update for this video, and that is that I finished The Inmate by Freida McFadden. So when I was reading this book, I had a lot of mixed feelings and mixed thoughts. I ended up giving it a 3 stars because I was enjoying it while I was reading it. It was keeping me intrigued and keeping me hooked, which I think is an important aspect in a thriller. Like, you want to be able to keep reading to find out what happened or who did it. But I will say the plot twist in this book didn't shock me. If anything, I was just more confused, and the ending, or towards the end of the book, kind of pissed me off, to be honest. So like I said, the plot twist didn't shock me much because it was just confusing, and I don't know, I feel like it was kind of just randomly thrown in there at the end, and the ending all felt very rushed. Like, I was waiting for things to start adding up and then there being like a big reveal. Like I said, the plot twist was kind of just thrown in there and it didn't make much sense to me. I will say though, the epilogue kind of got me. I was like, oh my god, the epilogue had me shook. I kind of wish there was something more like that in the actual like ending of the book. But then another thing that pissed me off is the main character, specifically towards the end of the book. Just some of the decisions that she was making, I was like, girl, what are you doing? And she just kept repeatedly making stupid decisions, which I can't say because it'll be spoilers, but if you've read this book, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And just the way that she kept like going back and forth between 2 different things, it was just like, oh my god, girl, get a grip, pick a side, like, what are you doing? So yeah, like I said, I have very mixed thoughts and feelings on this book. I did enjoy it, but it's not my favourite thriller that I've ever read. And it's not my favourite Freida McFadden thriller book either. I honestly don't know if I would recommend this just because of the plot twist and everything that I said about that. Like, I feel like with a thriller book, you want it to be like shocking at the end. You want to be like jaw dropped, what the hell just happened? And I just did not get that feeling from this book. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I spoke to my friend about it as well who's read it and she felt the same way. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like 3 stars is being nice. I feel like I could even do like maybe 2.5 stars, but I feel mean doing that because I did enjoy the book. I just didn't like the ending. But that brings us to the end of this video, so I'm just going to do a quick little recap of all the books that I read. I read 3 books in this video. First, I started off with Light Luck and I really enjoyed this. I loved this book. I cannot wait to go into the second one. From memory, I gave this like 4.5 stars, I think it was. I'll have to have a look at my Goodreads and I'll put the actual ratings up on the screen. Next, I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This was a cute little romance book, but just a little bit too long for my personal liking. But I did really enjoy this. I really enjoyed the characters. I really enjoyed their dynamic and their relationship. I believe I ended up giving this like a 3.5 stars. Lastly, I read The Inmate by Freida McFadden and I gave this 3 stars, but could potentially give it lower. I'm not going to get too much into this because I've just spoken about it, but yeah. I would say this has been a pretty successful reading vlog. Like I had one book that I absolutely loved, a book that I liked but wasn't obsessed with, and then one book that I have mixed feelings on. This far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos like this and more reading vlogs and bookish related videos. I've loved filming this video, so I'm really excited to make more. And there will definitely be more coming soon.